Welcome to London's craziest gangster with me, Mr. Fish, whose motto is, if angels fly and devils die, how come I'm still alive? Let's fly. Okay, so for most of you know, Joey Barnett did a podcast about me, okay, and talking about Zan Snooker Hall, and he tried to recall the event, but Crash How's Your Father, because he was young, he couldn't. So I'm now setting the record straight. So we've had part one, and we've had part two, and now Crash How's Your Father. We're going for part three. Now part three's a mad part, because part three actually started before part one. This is crazy, and I know I've said it in my podcast before, but I'm going to talk about it because Joey Barnett brought the whole thing up, and it just, it's a great story anyway. So Crash, yeah, here we go. Enjoy the show. Easy on the mic and mind how you go. Trust me. Here's a story. Trust. Okay. Crash. So I'm bowling along through life, you know how we do, yeah, we take on everything. As I told you, we're jack of all, master of none. But, we're enforcers. So a group of gentlemen came to us, and the gentlemen were from a family, a crime family. And as I told you, we always work alone. I don't join families, yeah. Once you join families, you have to do it their way, for their rules, and when it all goes wrong, then crash. You could get hurt by the family, or you got hurt the family. So I don't do families. I like to be my own man, my own boss, do my own thing. That's it. That's the way it works. If you give me some work, we do it. I don't need you to do it. That's why you've paying us for the work, Crash, yeah. So anyway, Crash as your father. This family asked if we could take on a bit of scum for them, deal with a problem for them, So Crash as your father. As I said, we don't do issues, yeah. Now, these people from over north, they told me that this guy, was scum, dirt, and filth, you know what I'm saying? They're the worst kind, you know what I mean? And he had to go, right? So, and this act was also a seal, to seal a deal. There were other businesses going on, and this was to kind of show that we were serious as well, and that we could take care of issues if we had to as well. So this was like, a favour to them for what they've done for us with the help with the business. Does that make sense to you? So we got on with business, they're helping us set up the business, and this was done in return for them helping us. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, which, served a few things. It served as one, they now know that we're serious. They also know that we don't do issues, and they also know we're prepared to go when we have to go, if we have to go there. And we're going to get Big Bird, yeah? So Crash, they've asked us if we could take care of this problem, yeah? So I said, okay, cool, no problem, get with the issue. So I grabbed a couple of the guys, we got a stolen Volvo, and I got paid, we got the gun, and we have to go and take this guy, give this guy a slap. So Crash as your father, the idea of the pager was the bleeper. They were bleeping me and telling me to ring them, and then they were sending me to where they thought he was, and Crash how's your father. Every time I was getting there, yeah, he weren't there. I mean, I'm getting yumped now. I mean, like, Crash, like, I'm going here, there, and everywhere, yeah. Never seen anywhere, yeah. And Crash, yeah. He's not there. It's doing my night. It is coming on top for us every time we it was coming on top for us every time we're going out. Every time we're going out looking for this fella, he's not there, we're risking 8, 10, 12 years, every 15, because we're all tooled up and I told them, you understand what I'm saying? Like, come on. So in the end, I'm getting right up with it. Yeah, we wouldn't crash going here and everywhere, and the kids never seen anywhere. Do you know what I'm saying? So crash. What's happened is I've called the middleman, and that's the thing when you do things like this. You know, like I said, you always have to think about what you're doing, and the idea is to always have a middleman when you're going to do something heavy, because if you don't have the middleman and you make contact with the people doing something heavy, for when it goes wrong, then, you know, when the other people come and do their homework and CSI and the investigations and the cell sites and all the rest of it, then crash as your father, you're leading it back to them. So we always have a middleman. That's the way it works. And let's just hope they don't have the middleman. Yeah, they got in, but that's it. It's all over. Crash. So crash as your father. Yeah. I've called the middleman. I said, right, meet me in Ladbroke Grove, Portobello Road. Okay. I said, because I'm getting up with these people over North London. Okay. So crash. The middleman meets me in Portobello Road. Now, this is a story. See, this story is why I don't watch films. This is a story. Trust me. Trust me. When everyone says they're in the game, they're not in the game. This is in the game. Okay, watch this. So crash, I'm saying to the middleman, he's parked in the middle of Portobello Road. No cars go and get past him. I'm just parked up properly on the side. I get out my car, okay, I walk up to his car, he winds down the window, so I'm talking to him through the window. Let's make this, my mother, this is on it, yeah? My mate pulls up behind me, who lives in Westbourne Grove. He says, hi, fish, yeah? Crash, yeah? Meet so-and-so. Meet so-and-so. Me. It's only the fella we got to give a slap. How's your father? Crash! Crash! It's the fella we've got to give a slap. I mean, we have been looking for this fella everywhere, all over London. This page, beep, 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 it's going off all the time. I'm doing my nothing, no. Sound like R2-D2 out of Star Wars. Yeah, doing my nut now. So they crash, how's your father, yeah? I go to the middleman. Right, we got him. Fuck off. Don't need you no more. Bye-bye. Yeah? So crash, I jump back in my car. Yeah. And crash. Just as we turn the corner, so on Portobello Road, we're turning now to go on to, I forgot the name of the road. And I swear to you, listen, I never believed in aliens before. But when we turn this corner, I swear I never believed, but when we turn this corner, I don't know where it came from yet. What spear factor this thing came out of yet. But boss, you just looked in the rear view mirror, and there, yeah, out of the middle of nowhere, yeah, crash, is a police car. Crash, how's your father? On us. For no reason as far as we're concerned. Like, we've just turned the corner. Yeah. And crash. This police car's there. So now, this is what I was trying to tell you, yeah? Now we got to do damage limitation. Yeah. And this is the bit a lot of people don't do. They don't do damage limitation. And so instead of getting like 5 years, they're getting 12 years or 10 years. You understand? Got to do your damage limitation. Yeah, understand what's going on. So my driver said, shall we run? I said, no, don't run, kid. If you run and we get caught in a stolen car with a loaded gun, come on, that's conspiracy straight away. You're already looking at 20, yeah? So I said, look, pull over. Now, the reason I told him to pull over, I would have come pull over if they see I rode the car anyway. But I thought they hadn't seen I rode the car. So I thought, okay, you know what we're going to do, Cressy, as your father? What we're going to do, pull over, and as he's asking you for details, I slip off to the shop, crash, and slibbly dibbly whips. Gone, you get me? Skibbly dibbly whips, you get me? Boom, boom, bye-bye. So Cressy, as your father, we stopped the car, and I got out, old Bill come out. And I said, right, I'm just going to go to the shop. And the policeman said, no, the car's stolen. You got to wait here. So crash. We're waiting now, yeah. And we're waiting for the van to come, yeah. So I'm all standing there. Then the van comes. Now, you have to remember, yeah. I've got a pager here. I'm wearing a gun under here, yeah. The van turns up. I'm like, wow, what am I going to do here? I mean, again, damage limitation, crash, yeah. So, boss, we get in the van. But you have to remember, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, yeah. The van in those days, yeah, in the 90s, they never had the locks on the keys like they do now, yeah. Their back doors in the old days opened. They had 2 benches, and the side doors at the front opened as well. So where the van is now turned up to take us into custody, there are a lot of police around now, you know, and Ladbroke Grove was a really volatile area for the police. And the police used to run it. Don't worry about Ladbroke Grove, Notting Hill Police Station. They used to run the gaff, yeah. So Cressy, as your father, I get in the van, yeah. I'm sitting there, this side, and a policeman sitting opposite me. The side doors open at the front, the 2 back doors are open at the back. Crash, damage limitation. Look, I shouted to him. And as he looks, I go, crash, through the side door, yeah. Crash, yeah. But you know what? Sometimes, you know, sometimes, yeah, you're so unlucky. Listen, just as I got to the door, you know, yeah, crash, he catches onto the t-shirt. Oh, mate, I'm still trying to push out and get out of his van. Anyway, the other policemen come now to help him and assist him. So we start rolling now. You know when you're rolling, crash, yeah, we're rolling, yeah. And they got me on the floor and they held me down, they handcuffed me up, yeah. If it weren't police, I'd be happy. Stop it now. So Cressy, as your father, yeah. They put me in the van. Shit. What am I gonna do? I've got this young policeman in the van, he's over the moon, they've stopped the nick car, and he's shouting at, you knew the car was stolen, you knew the car was stolen, you knew the car was stolen. And I'm sitting there like that, and don't worry about the car, worry about what's under here. Don't worry about the car. Don't worry about the car. Worry about what's under here. Even don't worry about a car. I'm worried about a car. I'm worried about a .38 Smith & Wesson nicked out of a fucking, given to us out of a fucking police station. That's what I'm worried about. Oh, absolutely hilarious. I tell you, I do love my life. My life is crash. Yeah. So, boss, how's your father? We've gone back to the police station. Oh, mate. Now remember, it's Nottingdale Police Station. Nottingdale had a reputation, take no shit, beating us up. Black or white. This wasn't a racial issue here. This was just a poor issue. But Nottingdale, they were on it. They weren't having none of it. They were the ones, and you know, brutality, pain, hurt. They provided it all. But hey, we live with it, and I'm sure they got back as good as they gave. But anyway, crash. So we get into the police station. Now I'm wearing a tracksuit. And I always do that whenever I'm going to carry. I think, if you're going to do a bit of work and you've got lots of pockets, then people, if you're going for them, then they just immediately become aware or suspicious and then panic. If you go in a tracksuit and it shows no pockets or nothing, they lower their guard and then crash. You can do what you have to do. And so we had a tracksuit, or if you have to run, at least you can mingle with the crowd. You're in a tracksuit, it looks like, you're not carrying nothing or nothing's going on. That's another great reason. So anyway, we're in a tracksuit now. They took the handcuffs off me in the station, and my mate, Crash, the getaway driver, he goes up first for interview, Now, you have to remember, as I told him to stop the car, Crash, as I told him, I also told both of them in the car that, the getaway driver takes the responsibility for the car because he's driving it. No point in the back man taking responsibility if he's not driving it, you know what I'm saying? And Crash, that both of them know nothing about the gun. Because if they knew something about the gun, then it brings it back to conspiracy. You always got to do your damn limitation, So anyway, we're now in the charge room of Notting Hill Police Station. Notting Hill. And Crash as your father. My mate's at the table talking to the sergeant, giving you details. And so I shout, I say to my mate, "Here, Tone." I say, "Here, Tone." He says, "Yeah, what's up, mate?" I said, "I better show him what I found." He says, "What's that then?" So I get out, and these police are all looking at me now, They're kind of like confused. They're like, "What is this geezer on about? Like, what's he on about?" And I'm standing. So I turn around to this young cousin. I turn around to this young cousin. And I say, "Don't jump me. Do not jump me. You hear me? Don't jump me." Now he's looking at me like, I've just come out of a mental hospital and I'm having a breakdown or a relapse, you know what I mean? He's like, this guy's got me nuts, And the reason I was saying don't jump me, and the reason I was enforcing and making it adamantly clear that I said don't jump me, is because I recalled one story where a pal of mine had gone into a police station, dropped the gun, it went off, and they tried him for attempted murder. So you have to know what you're doing when you're playing with tools around police. Please understand what you're doing, okay? And understand if you're driving at them in cars, understand what you're doing. It's all attempted murder, and it's naughty. I've got a few pals who've done it. They all know who they are, and it's hard work, and they never leave you alone, do you know what I mean? Yeah. So they crash. I've lifted up my sweat top, crash slowly, And as they've seen it, they've seen the gun, and they in the holster. So they shout out, "Gun, gun, gun," So Crash as your father. This young cousin now, he's just standing there, he's just looking at me, Cause don't you get it, Crap, we've just had to tear him, haven't we? We've had to find, don't you understand? He's now like, hold on. We've just had a tear up with this boy. You mean he could have pulled out, he could have shot us any time he wanted. This guy, like, Crash. You know what I mean? And I'm still here. We're lucky to be alive. So he's frozen looking at me now as I'm taking it off. The sergeant now, he's on that one. He's sitting there, all of a sudden he's getting taller. Like, I've got a wife and kids. And the other ones are like, we're not moving. Trying to get closer to the door, But they think I'm a cracking on a can, like, building up, bang, 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 bang. They thought I was one of them ones, So Crash as your father. This young fluffer just stood there, he's in awe, he's just stood there, like nothing, you know, like amazed. So I handed him this, you know, in actual fact, as he stood there and I looked at his face, I could see his mind saying, they never told me there were guns. I never know there were guns. And so I gave it to him, and mate, he's shaking like a leaf. I mean, I thought he was actually dancing, you know what I mean? A new finger dance. And he's dancing, and he says to me, is it real? Hey, mate, I took it back off him. That's how well it was. I thought, mate, if you drop this, I'm in trouble. I took it back off him. I'm like, great, I'm taking it back off you, yeah? So I took it back off him, and I put it on the desk. And crash. I thought, man, gone mad. Strip him down. Go back to the scene. Search the car again. They haven't gone mad at us. They gone mad at them. They got a gun into the charge room, you know. And they got mad. They put us in white suits and put us in cells. And what the whole joke was, they put us in cells, but they were cells that could come down. So they've opened our hatches. So he's there and I'm here, like they parked us across the road from each other, yeah. As if to say we're going to talk, you know, like, oh, what we're going to say. Look, you tell them that, like, in a, you know, from one cell to another. And so we're going to talk from, as if I'm going to shout from my cell to his cell across the corridor. While there, I was probably listening there. Oh, come on, mate. They could have done better than that, you know what I mean? Crash. Anyway, then the suits came down, you know. And that's it. You always got to remember the suits. They know most people in the game, innit? They're always aware, you know, firing squad and whatnot. See, you know, they know the main players in the area. So they come down, the suits are, you know, looking behind the door like, do you know him? And everyone coming over looking like, no, I don't know, Sarge. Do you know him, Billy? Let me have a look. No, I don't know. I'll find out who he is. So the suits came down, had a look, but they didn't really know us, and so, well, you know, as far as they're concerned now, it's a bit confused at first. They thought they just had a stolen Volvo, you know what I mean, and a couple of peanuts in it, you know what I mean, running about, most probably enjoy riding inside. Now, all of a sudden, you know what I mean, we got the peanuts back to the police station. And they turned out to be coconuts, you know what I mean? Absolute loot, you know, guns and fucking stolen Volvo. You know, like, crash, we got a team here, something's going on. So they crash as your father, yeah, boss, yeah? Crash. Crash as your father. One of the older, wiser detectives, you get me? He called me in for an interview, and he had the... Well, funny enough, he had a suit like the one I'm wearing, a pinstripe blue suit, silver hair, you know, like proper old school, you know, like he'd done the rounds. And so he said, come in, son. So I said, good afternoon to you, sir. He said, there's been an incident today. You was involved in an incident today, crash. And you was involved in a police chase, and whereafter you were stopped. I said, no, sir, let me... set the record straight, please. We weren't involved in no police chase, okay? We stopped the car. I'd like to make that clear now. We stopped the car straight away, you know? And you have to do that, yeah? You can't avoid silly little things like that, you know? Remember when he says, oh, you had a police chase and you failed to stop, hey, that changes this whole scenario to a different charge. You understand? That's now bringing it back to conspiracy. You get me? So you gotta make it clear, no, there was no police chase. And when we were stopped, requested to stop, we stopped. That's it. Okay? That's it. That you take care. It might sound stupid and small to you at the time. Oh yeah, you failed to stop, mate. But when you go to that trial, yeah, especially on a not guilty, yeah, when the jury hear you failed to stop, straight away, that's you guilty in their minds. You know what I'm saying? So you get, they put a statement like that to you, yeah, you put a statement like that to you, you make sure you put it into there, you stop it now, okay? Make sure, okay? Because crash, that will come to bite you later on. So anyway, crash, he said, okay, you stopped. He said, and then, you had a bit of a scuffle. I said, yeah. And then he said, crash, well, and you also came back to the charge room. I said, yes, sir. And he said, and then you pulled out a .38 Smith & Wesson. I said, yes, sir. He said, can I ask you what you were doing with it? I said, well, yeah, sir. I said, once again, damage limitation, yeah. And this time I had to blame the black boys, yeah, because at those days anybody that said about a black one was plausible. But I love being black, yeah. It gets us out of trouble so many times, trust me. Crash, yeah. So crash, yeah. I said, well, I've been a doorman for many years and I used to work at so many clubs. And crash, how's your father? I'm working this club in the basement in Shepherd Bush, and I threw these two black guys out for selling drugs and misbehaving. I said, anyway, now I'm going down the road a couple of months later, and crash, how's your father? I've seen the two guys I've thrown out, yeah. And crash, they were still upset at me throwing them out and started to put it on me. So I put it back on them and we're starting to have it toe to toe, crash to crash, yeah. Bosh, yeah. Another person there that I know, acquaintance, who I only know from the nightclubs, has seen the commotion, yeah, crash, yeah, pulled over and said, Fish, you need a hand? So I've gone, yeah. Now the odds are even. They've gone, yeah, crash, yeah, and started having it on their toes. As they've had it on their toes, crash, what has happened is, bosh, they've dropped the bag, yeah? So we've picked up the bag, crash, jumped back in the motor, and there, in the bag, yeah, was a fucking gun and a bit of pipe. Bosh, how's your father? Crash. And I'll carry it around with me now, yeah, acting Charlie Potatoes, which was code back in our day. Right, if we thought someone was hard, it was because he thought it was like hard potatoes, you know what I mean? We say as hard as potatoes. So that's what we say, Charlie Potatoes, acting the man, all bad, but hard man, do you understand? So, crash. He said, oh yeah, I said, yeah. So he said, okay. He said, what about the car? I said, that's for the car. We bought a car for travellers. And we don't ask questions, and that way we don't know where it's come from or what it's all about. Simple. So he looked at me, this old boy, yeah, crying, yeah, he looking at me now. He said, yeah, anyway, thank you for not, letting it off and waving it about. I said, yeah, no, fine. He said, you can go back and I'll talk to you later. See, damage limitation, you always have to know. Damage limitation. Anyway, this is Joey Barnett, part 3. Okay, and 3 have been before the 1. Remember where you heard me first. Remember where you saw me last. Don't forget to hit the button to like and subscribe to keep the show alive. And no matter who you are, where you are, I hope you survive. Ha!